I like music animes. My favorite anime is a music anime. My channel profile picture is a character from a music anime. My favorite movie as of now is a music anime. The only Nendoroid I own is a character from a music anime. A lot of the expressions I use are from music animes. I like to see the bond between the music anime members, and most of these animes also have some of the best emotional moments ever conceived by mankind. However, music animes are very flawed as well, like how a lot of these animes follow a very overdone and boring format, or how Nozomi Tojo's voice actor was getting cancelled, but let's not worry about that. What we're here to discuss today is about adding unnecessary characters to your music anime. Now, you might be wondering, why the hell is that a bad thing? The more the merrier. And to that I say, that's just an opinion. To me, adding new members could drastically change the tone of an anime, mostly for worse. It could be really jarring to see old characters that we're familiar with get shoved aside for new characters. However, although it's rare, adding new characters could enhance the overall experience in a positive way. Now, before we jump straight into the good and bad ways to add members, let me explain what adding new members in music animes are. Basically, halfway through the anime, random characters suddenly become main characters, and there isn't any foreshadowing of it. So animes like the original Love Live or Idol Master do not count, as the characters either appeared in the first episode, or were foreshadowed since the beginning. So let's dive into detail on how to add new characters properly using examples of animes that do it alright, animes that do it well, animes that do it badly, and animes that do it so horribly that it makes me want to leave the Love Live fandom. Lucky Star was the second anime I ever watched. And for a 2007 anime, it holds up really well. The references to different animes are still as hilarious as it was, and I would argue that some jokes are funnier than they were back in 2007. One of such things that aged well are the additional characters. Now, I know that Lucky Star technically isn't a music anime, since 93% of the anime has nothing to do with singing and dancing. But I decided to add it to the video because halfway through the series, a shit ton of new characters are introduced without any warning. And it's also to balance out the negative examples, because I couldn't find any other music anime which added members well other than K-On! And Lucky Star. On paper, that sounds like a horrible idea. Like, why the hell would you suddenly add 6 characters when the anime functioned perfectly fine with 4? Like, you're more than doubling the number of the original cast of characters. Are the writers dumb? No, the answer is no. The writers clearly aren't dumb, because the Kannada scene exists, and it didn't need to go as hard as it did. Lucky Star works because the new characters play off the old characters well. Every new and old character have good chemistry, and everyone adds to the comedy. The interactions are just as funny and entertaining as they were in the previous episodes. Hell, the Lucky Star OVA is one of my favorite Lucky Star content, and the OVA mainly focuses on the new characters. Another reason why the new characters work is because the main focus on the show is still on the main 4 and doesn't take the spotlight away from them. You know why Lucky Star's additional characters work? It's consistency. Despite having a larger cast, the anime still chooses to make the original 4 the main characters and the remaining 6 side characters that only exist to add on to the comedy. Also, the new characters are just likable in general. I like the emotionless one. I like the relatable artist girl. I like the one with the fangs, and I like the American girl who has an annoying high-pitched voice in the English dub for some reason.
I'm on a mission to absorb everything I can here, take it all back to America, and distribute it to the...
And the fact that Yutaka, one of the new characters, is a relative of Kannada makes it easier to adjust to her existence. So Lucky Star does the adding members thing well, because the series has the new characters solely to add on to the comedy and not take the spotlight away from the main 4, and because the charm from the previous episodes is still there. Also, whoever made Kagami wear that Hatsune Miku outfit needs a raise. K-On! Was made by the same company that made Lucky Star, so it's no surprise that K-On! Is the second anime on the list that adds members well. With that being said, K-On! Is a really great anime. From the humor to the soundtrack to the animation, I'm never bored watching it. Back in late 2021, K-On! Was actually on my top 5 animes list. But that role soon got overtaken by Happy Sugar Life. But let's not worry about that, K-On! Is still a great anime overall. One of such great aspects are the characters. Now, I could go on about what makes each individual character special, but I'm gonna talk about my favorite member of the after-school tea time, Azusa Nakano. Yeah, you heard me right. My favorite member from the K-On! Group is the new member. She's just so freaking adorable. At one point, Azusa was even my head canon of Hatsune Miku's personality. That thought aged as well as K-On! Being on my top 5 animes list. Back to topic. I feel that K-On! Does the whole adding members thing better than Lucky Star, and here's why. Firstly, like what I said earlier, the new character does not remove any of the charm in the previous episodes. After Azusa joins the anime, it is still consistently funny and consistently wholesome. Hell, I feel that if anything Azusa adds to the story. The fact that she's one of the only few rational thinkers in the band but is also defenseless can lead to some pretty cute jokes. Like that joke with the turtle. She also has good chemistry with each individual member. I like it when Yui or the others call her as Onion, it's one of the most memorable things in the whole anime. Secondly, the main focus is still on the main characters. Azusa is given around 2 episodes to develop, and it isn't as bad as one whole goddamn season. She's just there to add on to the comedy and emotional moments. Next, since Azusa is the only new member, it makes it easier to adjust to her existence. Since it's only one character, it feels like it's nothing big. This also leads to some good conflict, like how she's gonna be the last member of the after-school tea time. Speaking of conflict, this leads me to my last point, Azusa has to be added in for a reason. This part is pretty important but hard to do. You can't have the new character take the spotlight, but you also need to have the new character exist for a reason. For the Lucky Star characters, they exist to add on to the comedy. For K-On!, Azusa exists to add on to comedy, and also add conflict. This is probably the hardest part of adding new members, making them actually useful without changing the focus. The thing about Azusa being the only member left is honestly such a good obstacle and conflict. And it makes it even better when you realize that this shit came out way before Love Live, so K-On! Technically started the whole what happens after we graduate thing. God, K-On! Does the adding members thing the best. Clearly not perfect, it can still get jarring and awkward, but it improves the experience in my opinion. Before we get to the anime that add members badly, I'd like to mention Sawako Sensei. Now, I wouldn't really consider her a new member because firstly, she was foreshadowed since the beginning. And secondly, she's not a member, she's only a teacher. But if I were to count her, she's another example of a new character that was added well. This is because Sawako goes through a character arc and is one of the most hilarious characters in the entirety of K-On!, and she also doesn't take the spotlight. Of course Azusa is better because yes, but Sawako Sensei is really good too. Anyway, now let's talk about the bad animes. During the late 2010s, I started to feel that the music anime genre was like my life. However, the 2020s seemed to revive it. One of the first few animes that revived the music anime genre for me was D4DJ First Mix. Now, D4DJ is the most unique music anime ever, and I respect that. It has a unique animation which looks better than Demon Slayer, don't at me. An electronic soundtrack so optimistic and energetic to the point where it sounds absolutely nothing like any other soundtrack in music animes. It has a premise so different and refreshing. I mean, name me another music anime that is centered around DJs. And last but not least, it has dialogue that is so racially motivated.
Whoa, 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 hey.
To put it simply, D4DJ is just pure entertainment from start to finish. When Double Mix was announced, I was hyped as hell. But then I realized Double Mix was an OVA and I kinda lost interest. And then I actually watched Double Mix, and it sucked ass. So I was kinda hoping All Mix would revive D4DJ, similar to how First Mix revived the music anime genre. And I was sorta right, but also sorta not. D4DJ All Mix is still entertaining. Hell, All Mix's animation is a huge improvement over Double Mix and First Mix. And they use the same soundtrack as First Mix, so I have no complaints for the soundtrack either. Except for the fact that one of the First Mix songs sounds exactly like Hifumi Daisuke from Blue Archive. But other than that, that's where all the compliments stop. D4DJ All Mix has got to be one of the most abysmal Season 2s I've ever seen. Just take a look at Season 1 and Season 2's opening theme, and you can see the tragic downgrade in quality. I'm not exaggerating when I say that the focus completely shifts to the new characters. Some might say that All Mix is much worse than Love Live Superstar in terms of adding members, and I can completely understand why. Remember the main 4 girls that we've grown to like in the first season? Yeah, they are all side characters now. And you know, I wouldn't have been mad at that, if it weren't for the fact that it felt like Happy Around didn't finish their character arc. In the last episode of First Mix, Happy Around lost the competition. I wanted them to try harder in the second season, and win at the end. But no, they're completely sidelined. One of the main reasons why I wanted a D4DJ Season 2 was because I wanted Happy Around to develop more similar to Muse in Season 2 of School Idol Project. It's kinda sad, because I mostly recognize D4DJ for Happy Around. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. If you read the comment section in any episode of All Mix, most of the comments focus on Happy Around. Even my top commenter only focuses on Happy Around. After Time Gaming, if you're watching this, thanks for that comment, it helped prove my point. So I bet you're wondering, so why is D4DJ better than Love Live Superstar even though almost everything from the first season is completely dropped and forgotten in All Mix? Well, I have several reasons. Firstly, D4DJ is an anime based on a game, and the game has a lot of characters. And of course, all these characters need to be added in the anime, or else a gang war would start. But this could be solved by making more seasons and fleshing out the characters more. Do what Double Mix did, except don't make it bad, and stretch it to a whole series where the main characters are Happy Around. But still, the way they implemented the extra characters is reasonable because it's based on characters from a game. Secondly, the title of the anime is called All Mix. It sounds like multiple groups coming together as one. I feel that that title really fits the anime. All Mix mostly feels like an anime where all the DJ groups come together and bond. Third, it's a unique and different take on the music anime genre and continues the trend of taking a different approach to things. Lastly and most importantly, every character has good chemistry with each other. I can't stress this enough, if the characters do not have interesting and compelling interactions with each other, they might as well not exist. Luckily, D4DJ All Mix has some really fun interactions between the old and new characters. Lyrical Lily, although not being as fun to watch as Happy Around, are still entertaining in their own way. But overall, it's bad but not a terrible way to add members. At least the new characters are integral to the overarching story. And at least it's better than that stupid-ass Superstar. Love Live Superstar Season 2 is bad. It's really bad. I have never seen a series fall off this badly. Season 1 was an 8 out of 10 and Season 2 is a 3 out of 10. Depressing. But if I were to talk about everything wrong with Superstar Season 2, we'd be here all day, so let's just cut to the chase. I know what some of y'all Love Live fans might be saying, but the new characters are fun and likable, why do you hate them so much? Indeed, these characters are really fun and cool, especially the emotionless one. However, the new members aren't the problem, they are the cause of the problems. This is because these new characters go against everything I complimented about K-On! They don't play off the old characters well, they aren't interesting, they don't add to the story, and they completely brush aside the old characters. Let's start off with why the old and new characters don't have good chemistry with each other. The old and new members kinda feel like they are from two entirely different animes, because they rarely interact with each other. The only exception I can make is with Kinako, since she talks to Kanon a lot, but she's still boring either way. Can you imagine how a conversation between Sumi Rei and Shiki would go? I can't, because they never spoke to each other once. Secondly, let's explain why these new characters aren't interesting. Kinako is boring as hell. Her whole personality is being adorkable.
No, thank you. Those might be fun if you're a sugar plum fairy.
And for some reason, she becomes student council secretary in episode 8. Am I missing something? What the hell did Kinako do to deserve that role? Is it because she's hardworking and resilient? If that's the reason, then that goes to show Love Live's downgrade in quality when it comes to writing. Literally, Kaka and Chisato has worked harder than Kinako and Liella. I know this because unlike the writers of Superstar Season 2, I watched Season 1. Anyway, Mei and Shiki are alright for the most part. But you know which character really makes me boil with rage? Natsumi. I had to search her name up, by the way. Anyway, Natsumi might just be the worst Love Live character ever made, and it's not even a contest. She's like Nico Yazawa if she was terrible. Natsumi is annoying, selfish, and an asshole. At least Nico had boundaries. Every time she's on screen, I'm just praying that she gets run over by a steamroller. And don't get me started on her character development. Now get this, in episode 6, Natsumi's whole development happened because she had a dream. This is not a joke. Listen, dreams can be impactful and change a person's life. Trust me, some dreams of mine have inspired some of my stories, and I would be lying if I didn't say some of these dreams have made me appreciate some people a bit more. But the way it was done is so ass. I felt nothing watching it, it didn't feel impactful in the slightest. Hell, none of these characters have good character development. Not even Shiki's development was impactful in any way. Back in Season 1, we had Kanon overcoming her stage fright, Chisato learning to be a better friend, Sumi Rei learning to not be cringe, and Ren learning to move on from her past. It's night and day compared to Season 2. On the topic of downgrading from Season 1, the new characters also don't add anything to the overarching story. You could remove them from the plot and everything would function the same. Like, I'm sure the story could function with only 5 members. In fact, if anything, I feel like the additional characters ruin the overarching story. When Sunny Passion said something about their last performance on the iconic beach stage from Season 1, I felt nothing. I felt nothing because Sunny Passion was completely sidelined throughout the entirety of Season 2. It was as if the writers didn't care about them, and if the writers don't care, then why should I? During the emotional Kaka and Sumi Rei scene, I felt nothing, because it just didn't feel earned. Kaka and Sumi Rei were pretty much side characters now, so why should I care about their little side plot? A lot of characters get shoved aside for the new ones, it honestly feels like a different series. There is zero consistency. One was a goofy but sometimes mature anime that captures the charm of the original Love Live without outright copying the plot. The other was a cash grab with forced emotional moments and jokes that were written for the same demographic that watches Demon Slayer. You know what pisses me off? The fact that this could have easily been solved if the studio making Love Live were willing to take risks. Like what I said earlier, other than Natsumi, the new characters are fun and likable. They could have worked way better in a new Love Live series, where they can be more fleshed out and developed better. I suspect the reason why the Love Live company didn't make a new series is because they didn't want to risk making something new, so they just dumped all the new characters into Superstar since Superstar was already successful. They thought making Liella have 9 members was a good idea since it worked out for Muse. It pains me to know that if Love Live had more balls, things wouldn't be as bad as it is. And you know what pisses me off the most? They're adding more. I remember it was the 28th of April 2023 when I saw the news that Liella was adding Queen Margaret and another girl. My day was completely ruined. Now, I don't think I've said this, but Queen Margaret is actually pretty cool. However, the only reason why she is cool is because she's constantly insulting Kanon and seemingly teleporting to places. But once you add Queen in the team, and she stops being a threat to Liella, All her badass energy is gone, and she becomes boring. And the other girl looks boring as well. And you know what's the worst part? This isn't even the worst thing Love Live has made, but that's a story for another video. Overall, Love Live Superstar sucks at adding members as the new characters aren't interesting, aren't entertaining, aren't integral to the plot, don't have good interactions, and proves my point on Love Live's unwillingness to take risks. So, how do you properly add new characters? Firstly, do not make them the center of attention, or replace the old characters with them. To put it simply, make things feel consistent. Secondly, make them interesting and entertaining. Third, do not add too many characters, the less there are, the easier it is to adjust to their existence. Fourth, make the old characters and new characters have fun interactions and conversations. Lastly, make them important to the story without stealing the spotlight. But truth be told, it's probably best that you don't abruptly add any new characters. I'd rather have every character be introduced in the first episode, or at least foreshadowed. My reason is because even K-on's attempt, despite being the best one I've seen, isn't close to perfection. It's still jarring and hard to get used to. But what about you guys? Do you think that it's a bad idea to add new characters without any foreshadowing? I'd like to hear your opinions and see if I'm not the only one who thinks so. Anyway, I'll end off this video with a clip from Love Live School Idol Project Season 2 Episode 11.
私、ミューズに入らないことにしました。昨日、ユキホに言われて分かったの。私、ミューズが好き。9人が大好き。みんなと一緒に一歩ずつ進むその姿が大好きなんだって。私が大好きなスクールアイドル、ミューズに、私はいない。
Thanks for watching, and good night, Jensokyo. I think I may have forgotten to add Kita on the list.